The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Welcome. This is Fabrizio Bromano. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, let's break down this symbiotic relationship between Dr. William Ruto, who is the President of the Republic of Kenya, and Dr. MIGUNA. What's going on with these two? I'm making this video in response to one of the vloggers who made a video trying to break down what might be cooking up between William Ruto and MIGUNA. And for those who don't know who I'm referring to when I'm saying this particular vlogger, I'm talking about Lema Queen. I really enjoy your analysis, and I hope I don't come out as being solipsistic, but I will try to counter some of the points that you provided. My whole thing is this. I think MIGUNA's rise to political prominence, or as the next person who will inherit that proverbial throne of Luo Nyanza kingpin, is inevitable. Mr. MIGUNA has earned his stripes. And if you were to juxtapose MIGUNA accomplishments to Raila's track record, I think MIGUNA's track record is more appealing to the people. That hasn't been the case, as you know. And before I go on, let me ask you guys something. When MIGUNA was forcefully pushed into that aircraft and sedated and forcefully exiled out of the country, do you remember how you felt watching one of us Kenyans being mistreated? For what purpose? Criticizing the corrupt government of the day? How did you feel? It's unfortunate that some of us felt that, some of the people found it funny and made fun of him, laughing. I'm not boarding. But that happened to one of us Kenyans. We forget that. Come to find out that Raila knew about this. Okay, let's assume he did not know about this. He didn't plan this. But Raila watched what happened and still went behind MIGUNA's back and shook hands with Uhuru Kenyatta. Then let me take you back down the memory lane. Everyone was mad. Even in Kisumu, there was riots. People were saying, bring MIGUNA back. He does not need to be treated like this. What did Raila do? He went down to Kisumu and made a speech and said, I will make sure that MIGUNA is brought back to Kenya. That's after he shook hands with Kenyatta. Because now he was government. He was part of the government. That's the very same time they were mistreating Ruto. He came to Kisumu and told us, I will bring MIGUNA back. He called Uhuru his brother. But guess what? It was all talk, empty promises. MIGUNA was not back. So let's fast forward. William Ruto became the president. And even before he became the president, he said this, I will bring MIGUNA back. And sure enough, he brought MIGUNA back to Kenya. The other day we saw them shaking hands at State House. Okay? He apologized publicly, acknowledging the wrongdoing by the government of the time. He didn't have to do that and it's so silly because I see some people commenting, saying that, how can Ruto apologize? He was part of the government. He did not make the decision. It was Uhuru Kenyatta who had the power. Okay? Now that he is in power, Mr. Ruto is in power, he has all the statecraft, the power, the security forces behind him. he did bring back MIGUNA and apologize to him. That's a huge, huge, huge thing to do. And he has to be lauded for that. Okay? Now, political speaking, let's get to the politics of it. Yes, Ruto is not silly. He did that deliberately while he was in what? Nyanza province. Because, of course, he's trying to appeal to the Nyanza people. He understands that the Nyanza people will appreciate that because MIGUNA hails from Nyanza province. So when he gets the handshake done, it's a symbolic gesture to apologize and reconcile with MIGUNA in Nyanza province. So the Nyanza people of Nyanza can see that, hey, I'm not against Luos. I just have my differences with Mr. Kitandawili. Okay? Now let me ask you this. How's Raila doing of late? How's his influence? The last time he tried to have a mandamano there in Kamkunji, a few people showed up. And the next time he tried to he tried to plan for another mandamano, it was cancelled. And again, he lied to us that Joe Biden called him to come to the US, but he never went to the US. Instead, he went to Nigeria. The writing is on the wall for Mr. Raila Odinga. Now, we see how MIGUNA is being received by the Nyanza people. It was a rapturous welcome, okay? People were shouting, he was dancing, high five. Raila is not getting the same enthusiastic reception from the people. No, he's not. When was the last time Raila spoke? When was the last time Raila spoke in public? Joho left the ODM, stepped down. Everybody is decamping. They understand that this guy is irrelevant. And Ruto, of course, is using MIGUNA as a weapon. And MIGUNA doesn't mind because he understands his woes were due to Raila and Kenyatta's handshake, not Ruto. Ruto was powerless. He was ostracized from the government. So now what? The question has been asked, is MIGUNA surely going to be the next Luo kingpin? Without a doubt. As I said, it's inevitable. You can't stop it. I hear some people talk about Babu Owino. What has Babu Owino achieved as a politician? Two things. Teaching people mathematics online and shooting that DJ on the club. And he should be doing jail time in Kodiaga, eating nyoyo and nyoka that has ongude on it. You can't even compare intellectually Mr. MIGUNA and Babu Owino. Babu Owino is just known as a Raila sycophant. Raila now, with MIGUNA on the ground, gaining support from the people, and every day, if you look at MIGUNA's tweets, he's exposing Raila. Every day. Anything Raila says, he counters it and exposes him for who he is. I'll try to keep this video short. Another point before I finish. I hear Mr. Lee saying MIGUNA has no mkate. He has no money. So he cannot succeed. That's why Owalo is not going after Raila, because Raila is too powerful. That is a myth. As him himself has said, MIGUNA is courageous. He has the truth as his weapon, and is not afraid to confront the corrupt Raila, the compromised Raila. Raila knows the writing is on the wall. His time is up. We'll celebrate him when it comes to the funeral or wedding. We shall clap. Hey, ba 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 ba. But as far as real power, it's gone. The king is walking with no clothes on, and no one is telling him, except MIGUNA is telling him. So yes, MIGUNA is the next Luo kingpin. He's a national figure at this point. Uhuru actually made him a national hero. But I'll keep this video short. Subscribe, share, like, comment. Tell me what you think. You can agree or disagree. Peace.